那个看到没？绿色的。
旅客朋友，列车运行前方就要到达。
It's 8:30 in the morning. I've arrived at Zunyi West Train Station. I've planned this trip for a long time. I finally decided to take train 5630 from Zunyi in northern Guizhou to Chongqing.
现在人大多数旅行都是选择飞机，然后飞机对我来说感觉更像是点和点之间的移动，但是如果你乘绿皮车的话，就有种把点连成线的感觉。期间你旅行的那种厚度就势必是更饱满的。
感觉。 看不太清。
It's deep winter when I set off. There is no heating on the train, and the winter here is biting. I'm not prepared for the cold. The most important thing in my luggage is this book, Border Town, by the famous writer Xueqin. I'm going in search of 3 ancient towns on this journey: Dongxi Ancient Town and the 2 border towns of Hong'an and Chadong, mentioned in Shen's book. More and more ancient towns in China have become commercialized. But these 3 towns have been kept the way they were, perhaps as a result of their remote location in the mountains. This silent green train will take us to those towns that have been forgotten by time. For these frequent passengers, this train is an important means of transportation in the inaccessible mountains. Tickets are cheap, and it links trading spots together.
老婆你好，这个是怎么卖呀
2块5。
2块5，
一斤。
这么便宜就1斤。
哎，
真好。
里面有2块的。对的。3月2号以后，过次来买多的很我们，还装一个5斤。12块5。
老婆，您这一趟车票是多少钱呀
6元。
6元。那这2筐橙子能卖多少钱呢
？10块5，那都可以。
150不一定。
Mr. Liu is a member of the train crew. He tells me that this man takes the train to the nearby town to sell oranges every 2 or 3 days, then takes the same train back home. He usually carries 70 kilograms of oranges from the mountains on foot to the railway station, and by this means he supports the whole family. After he got off, I noticed that he is crippled.
"我上了火车之前，其实是怀着对绿皮火车的一种怀旧的那种情怀去的。就坐了5630这个列车以后，我才知道，其实有时候情怀真的是个很虚无缥缈的东西。因为你去了上面以后，你才能看到真正的生活是什么。
This is the last journey the green train will make before the Chinese New Year rush. It will resume services after the rush is over, which means farmers won't be able to sell their products for the next 40 days. Just like the fruit farmer I met earlier, they are making the most of their last chance to do business before the Chinese New Year. Luckily, there is always hope in difficulty. As the train continues onward, the coach livens up.
就我妈她自己种，她就是一个种植户
啊，你们是
一家人。哦。然后我俩现在是朋友了，然后我让我妈送一点给你，
哇，
就是做纪念。
那种
然后回去加微信啊，你手机
好，
去品尝一下。对，品尝一下。
品尝一下。这是猴头猪。多一点。不用太多，不用太多。
When I talk with them, the thing I hear most is, I hope it doesn't stop.
如果没有这个列车，我们不可能回来卖菜，因为你种了没有路走的话，你销不出去。如果是靠你背的话，这么远的路你背几个小时你都背不拢。所以我就说有这个列车，我才愿意回来带小孩嘛。因为我想着。
Train 5629-5630 is the only round-trip green train running on the Sichuan-Chongqing line. People get sentimental about green trains, partly because there are fewer of them these days, but more importantly, because they have helped them a lot. At about 1 p.m, the train leaves Guizhou province and enters Chongqing. I am 2 stops away from the first destination of my journey, Dongxi Ancient Town. I love literature, but choose business as my major in university. As I leave the familiar city on a green train, I feel a desire to realize my literary dreams. This journey has just started, but it has already changed my perception of things. I was surprised that the daughters of the vegetable farmer used to be left behind children, and she makes money to support her 2 daughters' art studies. Mr. Liu, the train staff member who is always wearing a smile, suffers from gastric cancer.
小都没小，小了啊，终于小了啊，小了都好。
Life is full of compromises. All you need is the courage to make them.
甘水车站到了，请大家下车了啊！拜拜。拜拜。啊，明白了。
Dongxi Ancient Town is in Qijiang County, Chongqing. It has a history of 1,300 years. My schoolmate Zhang Yuhe is waiting for me here.
刘二嫂豆花非常的好吃，哎，我们坐外面。好吃吧？好，来吃豆花，好嫩呐！我一会儿就吃不到了。 我们这儿烧腊真的很贵。您看这个阳台特别漂亮，这个是不是有100多年的历史了？它那有个地方是那个我们的一个管道，它水就流在这里，然后就通过那个管道往下走，这些叫水渠。村民会用这个水？哎，这座桥是修建于明太祖年间的，叫做永乐桥。
哇，那要有600多年的历史了。
对啊，明太子年间有600多年的历史了。这座桥是东西古镇最古老、保存的最完好的一座桥。他们的飞机落水里面去了，航拍的飞机落到那个太平桥了上面了。
当时做攻略的时候说，这个东西镇上有个特色的小学是川系小学。第2天早上我就去看了一下。
The school is called Yongle Primary School, which was built over 100 years ago. Thanks to the principal's efforts in recent years, Sichuan opera has become a unique feature of the school.
你好，请问这边小学已经放假了吗？
Unfortunately, I come during winter vacation, which will last for a month. I don't think I'll be able to visit it this time.
老板儿，还2块钱的菜。2块。哎。
When I told Zhang Yuhe that I failed to visit the primary school, she made a phone call to the principal. Yuhe is a village official in the town and knows the principal pretty well. The principal tells us that there will be casting for Sichuan opera performers the day after tomorrow, which will be held at Wantian Palace.
然后本来我第2天是打算就是已经离开东溪古镇了，但我想了一下，还觉得这个还是得多待1天。
The wharf in Dongxi used to be a busy hub that linked the waterways and roads. Wantian Palace was a guild hall built by the Sichuan people back then. The principal often brings students here to experience the feeling of being on stage, dressing them up in full costume whenever there is a chance to do so.
好，孩子们，今天我们选6位同学参加重庆市的小梅花展演的比赛，听到没有？
The favorite candidate appears on the stage first.
听我唱一遍好不好？再来一遍好。停。
它就是我们川剧培训学校成立之初就进了第1批学员。哇！所以说他就这里边呢，就是算元老级的了，但是马上毕业了。
哎呀，这就可惜。
他基本上掌握了这个从就说女生这一块的很多的动作或者说技巧。上了中学以后，我们也担心这些孩子到什么地方去了，还能不能继续学？真的，这学了这么多年。 这个没有了，他自己
心里肯定难受。
也难受。
The teachers are performers from the Qijiang Sichuan opera troupe, which was dissolved a long time ago. Many of them haven't been on the stage for 20 years. But the atmosphere today is great, and some teachers are going to perform. Mr. Huang is 51 years old, but can still pull off some moves. The casting isn't widely advertised or particularly professional, but still moves me deeply. After leaving Dongxi Ancient Town, I take a car to my next destination, Hong'an Ancient Town, the original border town described by Shen Songwen. Border Town is Shen's most famous book. It tells the tragic love story of Xueqin, who lived a life of poverty with her grandfather.
看那个每个房间都有那个编程的书。
沈从文的这部编程这个，
那你是不是对这里特别了解？
对啊，编程里面小说的主人公翠翠就是我的姑奶奶、姑婆。
什么？
对啊，
翠翠是个真实的人物。
对啊，翠翠确实是个真实的人物。那个沈从文的这本编程小说里面的所有的人名、地名都是真实的，
都是真的。
只不过小说嘛来源于现实，它高于现实一点。
特别想把这个书里面有涉及到地名都找探寻一下。
可能现在有些那些地方已经不在了，但是我是听我的。
This descendant of Xueqin is called Li Xuefang. She is just like Xueqin as described by Shen Songwen, with dark skin, bright eyes, and healthy looking. We quickly become friends. She gives me a surprise soon after we meet.
平时因为特别喜欢吃东西嘛，然后看沈从文小说的时候，我也会偷偷把那些菜名都记下来。但没想到菜已经做好了一桌，没想到都吃到了。
那个沈从文里面有一个最后的那他美食中有一道菜叫那个酸菜拌冷饭是吧？
对对对，
这个就是那个冷饭弄好了，然后放学回来饿了的话，就拌着这个酸菜吃，看这个味道肯定不一样。
特别好吃，
冷饭的，
有种紫菜包饭的感觉。
这个一锅煮3省呢，就是名字呀，特别的有讲究。贵州的豆腐，湖南的鱼，对我们重庆的那个什么酸菜，你尝一下。
The dishes Shen Songwen wrote about didn't use expensive ingredients. Most of them are homemade food with a unique Western Hunan style. Luckily, because he described food that he had known since his childhood, these local dishes have been passed down from generation to generation, and people can still taste them today. Tomorrow I'll make my long-anticipated trip to the border town. The thing I'm looking forward to most is trying the Lala ferry, which appears repeatedly in the novel.
这就是拉拉肚。拉拉肚是一个老人在摆渡嘛。那我们现在就上来的就是拉拉肚了。小说里面呢有一个圆形地嘛，拉拉肚。
采样感觉很。
过去以后呢，然后就是茶洞。叔叔，
The Lala ferry is unique to Western Hunan and has a history of about 1,000 years. In the novel, Xueqin and her grandfather work as ferrymen. This is how Shen Songwen described the Lala ferry in Border Town. At the nose of the boat is a bamboo pole with a movable iron hoop on it. A cable is attached to the two banks of the river. When people want to cross the river, they hang the hoop on the cable and move the ferry slowly to the other side of the river. Today, the Lala ferry still crosses the river in the same way. Only the bamboo cable has been changed to a more stable steel cable.
如果让你来拉一天的话，你的手都抬不起来的。哎，你掌握那个原理就好了。加油加油加油！每个这个地方的人都要来体验一下这个拉拉肚。
Hong'an ancient town is uniquely located at the border of Chongqing, Hunan and Guizhou. Chadong ancient town is across the river from Hong'an.
下来以后，这里你踏的那个地界就是茶洞了。
茶洞
啊，
湖南了，
湖南了，湖南省。
I didn't expect to get to the third destination of my journey in less than 10 minutes.
真的是年轻啊。
Now I'm in Hunan.
对，这里也就是说你。
In the real world, Border Town refers to both Hong'an and Chadong across the river. Chadong is home to much of the original scenery and buildings described in the novel.
你现在我带你看到的地方就是小说里面那个 吊脚楼啊。这就是那个你在小说里面的那个水帘坊，但电影里有看到。对，电影里面有看到过。
In Border Town, Wang is the head of the local armed forces who wants to marry his daughter to Nuod Song. The water-powered roller was his daughter's dowry, an object Xuequin's grandfather was envious of. The dowry he prepared for Xueqin was the ferry, but he was worried it couldn't compete with the roller. But Nuod Song loved Xueqin and would rather have the ferry than the roller. In 1984, director Ling Zifeng made the film Border Town based on the novel. Part of the film was shot in Chadong. Unfortunately, the shooting location no longer exists.
这个和电影里还是不太一样。
那这个白塔是后来建的，和小说里的有一点不一样，是吧？这个应该是00几年才建的。
In Border Town, the White Tower was closely connected with the town. At the end of the novel, Xuequin's grandfather dies on a stormy night, and the tower collapses. The people in Chadong built a small island in her memory and named it after her.
以前这个地方就是一个鹅卵石的一个地方，后来因为你开发，对吧？
然后当时还有个比较玄机的地方，就是翠翠她那个雕塑的朝向，就是她是一直在等着罗宋，一直等到孤独老死，罗宋都没有回来。觉得还是有点失望，基本上是已经找不到当时编程的感觉了。但是他们修建那些现代的后来补建的这些，其实又让人失望，然后有时候也会让人觉得心比较安吧，就总比你去了编程以后却什么都找不到，一点线索都没有，更来的没那么残忍一点。
但带小孩更累的时候，我宁愿来冲一天队。
When I return to Hong'an, the ferrymen are changing shifts. This 70-year-old man is Li Xuefang's father. Li Xuefang said that her grandfather had sold the ferry to someone across the river. Her father couldn't stand it and finally bought it back when he got old. Since then, he has always been with the ferry, bringing passengers across the river. Suddenly, I come to understand that Border Town isn't only about the scenery and objects here. What really moved Shen Zongwen were the simple, natural people.
我们高中老师说过一句话，他说你去哪个地方，你就要去那个地方的菜市场。我们可能比较去哪玩，就是去网红的商店，哎，买个东西吃，拍个照，然后发个朋友圈，这就算旅游。但其实这远远不是，就是除了朋友圈背后还有很大的世界需要挖掘。
In 1931, Shen Zongwen wrote Border Town to express the love between human beings. 80 years, the Border Town is still hidden in the mountains and brings comfort to everyone who visits. My journey comes to an end in this wonderland. The memories I have made on this trip will stay with me forever. We embark on a journey from Xinjiang in southern Shanxi to Hunyuan in the north of the province. Listen to the powerful drum music of Jiangzhou and experience the spectacle of the Grand Hanging Temple. Join us for the next part as we follow drum music teacher Zhang Chao and PhD candidate Zhu Yuxi as they explore the ancient and magical land of Shanxi.